If there's one thing I get asked the most, it's how do you make a perfect steak? Good enough for Gordon Ramsay, so that's what I'm gonna show you how to do. This is part 1 of my series on the perfect steak, starting with a cast iron ribeye. Tip number 1, start with a room temperature steak and then dry it off completely before seasoning. Next tip, coat it very generously with salt, like very, very generously, but I use kosher salt and fresh cracked pepper only. Do not argue with me, this is the only way to do a steak in my opinion. Next tip is very high heat. You want to put that cast iron pan and let it come to almost 500 degrees before you put your steak in it. Next tip, don't touch it. I'm going to smack your hand away if I see you moving it around in the pan. Just let it be, flip it over when it has that brown crust. Next tip, butter basting. You've probably seen this before, but literally use a half a stick of butter, garlic, and herbs until it's the right temperature. It'll keep it juicy. The last tip is resting it, but on a wire rack. This is key to not ruining your crust. Last tip, top it with something salty like my garlic confit, salt, or anything else, and enjoy.